This clip is from the Boundary Riders podcast, and if you do enjoy this, then make sure to check out the full episode out every single Wednesday morning on YouTube and Spotify.
But let's move to some of the trade rumour news, and I want to talk about Charlie Curnow, because this story has been, circulating for a lot of the season, at least for about the second half of it. And now, basically, since Carlton's season's over, it has just reached peak reporter garbage at this point. Now, first of all, I want to ask, how much do you think to a club, how much would you give up for him? If he was going to Port Adelaide tomorrow, how much would you be giving for him? Like, first of all, he's 29 years of age, so he's getting up there now. On the other hand, though, he's a two-time Coleman medalist, arguably the best power forward in the game, previous to basically from 2023. So the last 2 years he's had a couple of injuries, which is obviously something against him, a con. What would you be giving up as a team?
Oh, well, to be fair, he's still worth a first rounder. And like say for Paul, for example, you give up a first and a player. Who would you say? I wouldn't give up a first rounder and Butters who wants to leave, but I would consider, before he signed, a Bergman and a first rounder. Yeah. I think that's a fair trade.
So obviously, as the resident Swans fan of the channel, there's been a huge amount of rumours circulating around what Carlton should be asking for if Curnow was basically adamant saying, I don't want to come back. I'm not going to play, he's going to throw up the white flag and say, I surrender, I don't want to be here anymore. So obviously a lot of people for Carlton would be saying they're looking at the big four of the Swans. You're looking at Heaney, Golden, Blakey, and Warner. Those are the four that a lot of people are saying they have to target. Papley was also mentioned as well, but that was quickly extinguished by the Papley management. He said no, he's not going there. Very interesting, because it was 2019 when he actually requested a trade to Carlton, but now they don't want to go. I think a lot of his family, I think it was his partner, moved over to New South Wales to be with Papley, so that's a lot of the reason why he doesn't want to go back anymore. And I think there was a bunch of family issues back at the time as to why he was requesting a trade back to Victoria, but that's been rejected. So obviously Carlton, they're saying that the only way they would get it done is if they asked for one of those big four. Kane Corns, in his huge amount of wisdom, said that the Swans should do the trade for Errol Golden. Are you fucking kidding me? No way.
Yeah.
He's 23, 24 years of age, Errol Golden. We saw how good he was when he returned for Sydney. I think he's honestly their next captain. I think that the Swans I would not be shocked if the Swans make a change on their captain next year, or at least go co-captain with Golden and Mills. Personally, I think that's what they will do.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they go sole captain with Errol Golden either. But no way in hell if I'm the Swans, I would do that deal.
No.
I don't think many Swans fans would do that deal either. I agree that is an incredibly bad decision.
Yeah.
Because Errol Golden, not only is he a great leader of the Swans at the moment, we saw how much impact he had when he returned, but just on the fact that how good a player he is, how good the foot skills, how important that is to the game now. You would not give that up for a guy who's 29, who's been injury ravaged for the past 2 seasons. Yes, obviously the upside of Charlie Curnow is massive. There is a huge amount of upside for him, but is he going to hit that anymore? I don't think he can. And I mean, even if he can, 3 years time, 3 years time, Errol Gould's going to be in his absolute prime. Charlie Curnow's gone.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, you could point it out the other part of it as well, that Charlie Curnow, if the Swans won 2 premierships in 3 years time with Charlie Curnow in the team, was it a worthy trade? Maybe it was. I just don't see that being a great idea. I personally would not trade anything. Like I've been saying to you all week, if I'm the Swans, I would go with, Ollie Florent's been linked to Carlton. Give up an Ollie Florent and a potential top pick. Now, I know the Swans are actually looking at a couple of players in their academy, so I don't think they can give up a top pick. But, you've got players there that the Swans could use as potential trade bait. Peter Adams, for one. The Blues need a ruckman. Throw in Peter Adams, throw in an Ollie Florent. 2 of those players, they're 2 targets that the Blues actually need. They need a halfback who can run and use the football, and they need a ruckman. Offer them 2 up, potential second rounder, Charlie Curnow, I would be happy with that. None of the top 4. I am sorry. No, you're not taking Errol Gordon. You're not taking Nick Blakey. Chad Warner just re-signed. I don't think he's going to Victoria. And Isaac Heaney, I don't know. Maybe a couple of people could say he's a bit older. Like he's around the age of Charlie Curnow. I still wouldn't do it though. We obviously see how much Isaac Heaney, means to the Swans. How much influence he has in games. Like I think we saw in the awards night we had with the channel that he won 3 best of the rounds votes. Just because how good he is, how much he can change a game, how much of a star he is at his best. And he's been a little bit inconsistent this year, but at his best, we can see how good a player he is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that was one that I saw. I was thinking that's absolutely ridiculous. There's been so much talk. He's been linked to Carlton. He's been linked to St Kilda. He's been linked to Geelong, Gold Coast, Sydney at this stage. Now, another one that was popping up was Zach Butters. That looked like it was squashed about a week ago when Port Adelaide were adamant that he would see out his contract at the very least. I think even he said it after the game that he would be there in 2026.
Yeah. Sam
McClure, in his wisdom that we love to see from Sam McClure, said, "Oh, this is live. This can happen." Big Victorian clubs are still keeping an eye out for him. I mean, these sort of stories as well. Zach Butters, Zach Merritt, Charlie Curnow, yes, they may go. Yes, there may be some unrest, but your evidence is, they're disillusioned at the moment. That's the new word, apparently. Disillusioned is the new word in the trade rumour market. I've never heard this word used before. And all of a sudden, I don't know if Damien Barrett and Sam McClure have the same roll of toilet paper for word of the day, but disillusion must be the new word. I don't know why that's all of a sudden the remark that has to be made when it's a trade rumour. But disillusioned is all of a sudden a word that has to be used in trade rumours now.
And it's not like you can take the actual person who's like Zach Butters for his word anymore. It's like he wants to stay for 2026. It's like that doesn't matter anymore though. Sam McClure can just make it up like, he's just disillusioned about wanting to be there. He's feeling unrest in Zach Merritt wanting to be there. He wants success. It's like everyone wants success. Everyone wants to win premierships.
Yeah.
It's like, but he just said he wants to stay. He's loyal to Essendon. Nah, it doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean squat.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure when he says in interviews and stuff like that he's wants success, I don't think that just necessarily means straight away, that means he wants to go to Collingwood.
Yeah.
Oh, that means he wants to go to Hawthorn. I mean, I guess that some people could make the point on this channel that, you make trade videos, I mean, I do it. I mean, obviously I do it. The main reason is just to make the bag of that $100 that maybe I get from a video from trade rumors. But a lot of the time I will actually I think that if you're going to bring up these trade rumors, whatever, but I think you got to give an inkling of truth to it and actually just bring up the point. I know this sounds stupid. It's most likely not going to happen, but we've heard some murmurings around this. I feel like that's a good point to make at the very least. But the way that a lot of these guys frame it is like there is actual talk that they are going to leave. Like with Zach Butters, with Zach Merritt, this is open. There's a market for him. The managers are putting out the feelers. And then at the end of the segment, when people have stopped listening and have written their comments saying you're a fucking moron, Sam McClure, up yours, Damien Barrett. What sort of mousse do you use in your hair, Sam McClure? It looks like you use a kilo of it. After those comments have been written and you flicked away from the reel, they've actually said, look, I'm thinking he's probably going to stay anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, all right, thanks for letting us know that, bro. But actually, you've just spun a bunch of bullshit that's going to make it back, which is going to hit the back page of the Herald Sun, the Age, all these sort of newspapers and outlets. And now with social media, they're spread all over the internet as well. So everyone's like, we've heard the disillusioned word that Zach Butters is, going to be looking to leave and all that sort of stuff. And it's just like, for Christ's sakes, could you at least come out first of all and say, this seems ridiculous. This seems out of the ordinary. We've heard the fact that Zach Butters wants to stay at Port Adelaide at least. He says that he's going to stay out until his contract. but we've heard a couple of murmurings. My understanding is he's going to stay at Port Adelaide, wants to see out his contract, but there are a couple of clubs that are still looking at him. I don't think that's a bad idea. I still think that you get your point across that there's a couple of rumours circulating, there's a couple of whispers, but also this is pretty far-fetched to believe.